Town. First place Cubs, top of the Central Division. Normally, even this early in the season, just a month in, you'd say this is significant. And it's actually not. Good morning to you. Good. Tuesday morning, I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins in the same place that you found this. The Cubs had been forecast to be good. This is not something that nobody saw coming. They had made some intelligent moves over the offseason, some aggressive moves. That's a little bit counter to the way they've been run, really, if you think about it, over the better part of the past half decade. But they're now fulfilling that. Not extraordinarily so, but they're 17-12. They've got a plus 39 run differential. They're a game up on the Reds in the division. Now, again, it's the end of April. Cubs have lost 2 in a row. The Reds have won 5 in a row. I don't trust the Reds to do anything. I'm just throwing that in parenthetically, okay? Never trust the Reds. And then there's your club holding down the basement with the permanent lease. They're 11-18, the Pirates are. And they're coming off, as we talked about on yesterday's show, a certainly better than expected 3-3 trip out west to face both the Angels and Dodgers. And there they sit, 6 games behind the Cubs. That's the distance separating first and last place. So I lay all that out, and it sounds doable, right? The Reds won 5 in a row, and bang, just like that, they're up there in a battle. Pirates could win 5 in a row and start thinking similar things. In fact, if you just look at this upcoming series against the Cubs, the Pirates will have Andrew Heaney going tonight, Paul Skeens in the matinee finale on Wednesday. And tomorrow is another Carmen Majinski start. Maybe one of those will actually go well. I don't know. I'm saying it's not, out of the realm of possibility that the Pirates could get on some kind of roll here. The math is what I want to talk to you about today. I would normally never, ever waste anyone's time with an exercise like this in April. But I'm going to waste your time with it today anyway. Because the Pirates being 11-18 doesn't just mean they're off to some sluggish start and they're one little rally away from getting right again. It means the following. If you go back to the 2024 Major League Baseball season, the cutoff point for the wild card teams in the National League was 89 wins. That was the bottom. That was what the minimum to get into the playoffs. Now, in the American League, for full context, it was only 86 wins. So just for argument's sake, just to try to toss a sliver of hope into this, let's go with 86 wins. Let's say that that's the total the Pirates need to make the playoffs. Okay, so in that event, if the goal was just 86 games, 86 wins, out of these final 133 games, the Pirates would have to win 75 and lose only 58. They would need to put together a .564 winning percentage. And if you're not all that keen on winning percentages, let's just say that right now in the National League, there are only 5 teams that have a winning percentage that high. Cubs, Mets, and 3 teams in the West, Giants, Dodgers, and Padres. In the American League, there are only 3 teams that have that kind of winning percentage. That'd be the Yankees, the Tigers, and the Mariners. So with that thinking, the Pirates would have to be one of the top 8 teams in baseball the rest of the way, just to achieve the bare minimum to make the playoffs. And by the way, 86 wins is only 4 above a winning season officially. And I'm not going to dig through all that either. You get the idea. Mathematically, this season's already shot by virtue of this start. I'm not telling you not to cheer for the team, not to go to the games or whatever. You do what you want. I'm just telling you that it's not going anywhere that's substantial. It's not going anywhere that's going to save these guys jobs. Because the other component to it is they're out of excuses. Ben Cherington, Derek Shelton. You can't really cite injuries as some prime explanation for the team being 11-18. Yeah, it's not been great being without Jared Jones. It's not been great not having the first baseman that they signed or traded for, Spencer Horwitz. It's not been great being without Nick Gonzalez since the very beginning. But is being without one starting pitcher and a couple of pretty ordinary, in terms of performance level, position players, anything other than a common month in the majors for anybody at any point in the season? It's not as if the Pirates played without Skeens or Brian Reynolds or O'Neal Cruz or Andrew McCutchen. No, they dug this hole honestly. And unless they were to go on some sort of buying spate or trading spate here in some raging hurry to save their jobs, it's not going to change. And that's not going to happen. That's definitely not going to happen. When we come back, J1Q.
It's Gun Storage Check Week. Help prevent unwanted access to your firearms. No one wants their unsecured gun to be used in an accident, a suicide, or a crime. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to secure your firearms. Learn more at gunstoragechek.org. That's gunstoragechek.org. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
Today's J1Q comes from Connor, who asks, DK, is Tommy Pham some sort of Rowdy Tellez 2.0? He's got a bad attitude, he can't hit, costs around $4 million. Rowdy technically earned less due to incentive bonuses not being reached, and management got excited about numbers they put up a few seasons before signing with the Pirates. They could have done a lot better with this money. Now, I have a couple of things to say about Pham. They're probably overdue, given that a good percentage of the J1Q submissions that come this way have something really nasty to say about Pham. I'll start with the comparison point that you were making between Pham and Tellez. Whatever it is that you happen to think of Pham's personality, it's at least authentic. Tellez is one of the biggest phonies I've ever encountered in covering Pittsburgh sports. And take that from somebody who covered Juju Smith-Schuster. One thing in front of the camera is something completely different away from them. And awkwardly and uncomfortably so. And in the baseball world, where everybody notices everything, and everybody notices everything, everyone in the Pirates world saw through that instantly. And by the Pirates world, I'm talking about at field level. When he was cut before that bonus was awarded, there wasn't a solitary player in there who had a problem with it. They were just thrilled he was gone. That's not Pham. As I've shared with you before on this program, Pham's just an angry guy. He's angry about something at somebody all the time. I've known people like that. I'm not really sure why, but I've always seemed to have an easy time getting along with people like that or relating to them. So I've been fortunate, I guess you could say, to have had some pretty good conversations with the guy. And no problems whatsoever. Something else to say about Pham. There are two disturbing numbers about his offense. One of them being way more disturbing than the other. The one that everybody's going to focus on is that he's batting .184, and within that, no home runs, 4 extra base hits out of his 16 hits. The one that's way worse is that he's got 87 official at-bats. He has enough plate appearances. He is one of 6 players on the Pirates roster to have enough plate appearances to qualify for the batting title. If you're not familiar with that math, it's 3.1 plate appearances per team game. Pham actually has enough. 98 plate appearances through 29 team games. Why? Why? I mean, this is like, I'm not one of those people who shrieks at the manager when a hitter isn't doing well, but I'm going to question the manager whenever he just keeps putting him out there as if he's some sort of indispensable weapon in your arsenal who's just inevitably going to come around. You do that with Reynolds. You do that with Cruz. You do that with Kutch. You don't do it with this guy. So that's my two-part answer. No, he's not anywhere near as bad a guy as Tellez is. And no, he can't hit. But to augment the second answer, no, he shouldn't be put out there so often. Oh, and as long as I'm at it, no, he's not going to make a good scapegoat for anybody. I know we love to find our scapegoats when things aren't going well. This is just it's not a good baseball team. And fussing over your 26th player and how he could be replaced by some other 26th player, which, by the way, he can't because they don't have anybody in Indy, that's just that's not much of an exercise. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everybody listening to Daily Shot of Pirates, and I'll be at the ballpark tonight covering this series opener, and we'll be back here tomorrow to talk about it.